Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. 6:35. Review and make any changes to the agenda. We have one addition to the agenda. Mike's Electric estimate for upgrading the panel in the town hall, electrical panel. I think that's all we have. Anybody else have anything else?
I don't.
Okay. And so now review and approve minutes of the October 21st meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the October 21st meeting.
I'll second.
Is there any changes, any additions?
I didn't see anything.
No, I didn't see anything. So all in favor, say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the next is municipal wastewater project updates. I don't
There are
think
none.
We don't have any of those.
No,
Streetscape project update, there's none of that.
and there was none of those.
Then Reagan Road Power Project update, construction of building. Scott has ordered the building, and they're gonna deliver it right up to the site. And then we'll get it installed inside the fence and get it ready for Doug to get the electrical hooked up in
Should be here within a couple of weeks.
a couple weeks,
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, so then we'll get that all installed, so that's coming along.
Good.
Truck and grader repair status, I guess I can have Scott give us an update.
Yeah, the trucks are both fixed and back. Everything seems to be going okay with those. Expected, ready to go. We're getting them ready for winter. The grader, we've had some trouble with it. Last week it was acting up, so I got a hold of Cat. They came up last Monday and determined there's no oil pressure. So they thought it was the oil pump, so they took some samples and did some more tests. They got back to us Friday and said that they recommend the motor either needs to be rebuilt or replaced.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at right now. They're kind of trying to get something together to give us for numbers for a rebuild, but they're not sure because they don't know until they get into it. So we'll have to wait and go from there. I've got a price on one if they wanted it to for a lease. If we wanted to lease one, right now we've rented Town of Enosburg's old grader for a couple weeks just to get by and try to get finished up before fall. And we'll have to wait and see and go from there when they're back to gas.
Yeah. But I mean, as far as what happened to the grader, it's nothing to do with maintenance. I mean, the grader's been maintained, oil
They
changed.
think the head had cracked and had gasket and is leaking antifreeze into the motor, and there's high levels of a couple metals in the oil sample. And they think possibly there's a seal on the suction tube for the oil pump that they're known to deteriorate. When they do, they plug the suction tube. And for them to fix that, to even check it, the motor has to come out. So that's kind of where we're at this point.
Anything under warranty? Sorry.
No, it's a
No,
2006.
the grader's 20 years old.
20.
8,000, almost 9,000 hours on it.
8,400.
8,400
So
hours
it's
on it.
we've had it for that long.
Yeah, yeah.
They recommended 2 years ago to have the transmission rear ends rebuilt. We have not done that, but
Yeah.
that would, if it goes for that, they could do that all at the same time.
So probably we're looking at, I mean, for the total repair is probably around 100,000. To repair
Closer to
that grader.
140, I think.
Yeah,
What's the new grader?
140, and a new grader's roughly 380,
340.
340. Yeah. So we're getting some prices together on leasing and another new grader, and then see where we're gonna go from there.
How
But-
about prices of being rebuilt?
Yeah, that's
They're
what.
giving us a price, but
Yeah.
we can only get it.
Well, go
So-
out different people to get prices too.
Well, I mean, it's
The
a
only one that can
Caterpillar.
get the parts for the actual motor's cab.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know better than that.
Well, there's nobody else around here, so.
Yeah.
Allen Torch don't wanna do it, they don't wanna touch it.
So I mean, it'll be laid up for at least 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, they said
Yeah.
4 to 5 minimum, cause they won't even do the motor there, they would send it out.
Yeah.
So,
So lucky we have wanna thank Enosburg for letting us use one of theirs to get
Yeah,
us
they
through
purchased
this
a new
fall.
one, and they kept their old one, so they let us run it.
Yeah, so that's getting us by for this fall to get the grading done for the fall. So, we're gonna get some numbers together on leasing and new price, and then we'll go from there, and see what we can do. But I just wanted to update everybody what's going on. So is that it, Scott?
Yep, that's it for now.
Okay. Then Tosca just gave us an estimate to upgrade the main panel in the town hall, electrical panel.
Yeah.
I guess Tosca can
Let me
explain.
just briefly,
Yeah.
I've, in talking to two prior electricians and being told that the building didn't have enough power, there was some confusion. Mike's Electric, his daughter, Allie, has started Amp Electric. He is working with her to get her journeyman hours. So, to do a project at the municipal building, we need to have a permit pulled from the state. So Mike was available and came right down with Ally. And in looking at the breaker box in the room with the chairs and the tables, there has been so many jerry-rigged repairs over the years. That box still, it has about 4 breakers that are bad. It has 15 amp breakers, which are totally unsuitable for anything we're plugging in at this point. So we looked at the room in general and talked about replacing the outlets, and he said, if we were gonna, he asked me about what we plug in now, and I'm able to plug in like 2 crock pots on the front stage outlets. He said trying to upgrade those and snaking wires and going through the building you're looking at thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
It is not the way he suggested. What we do is he can put in 6 20 amp outlets right next to that breaker box. So you'll be able to plug in extension cords. You can also creatively wire some extension cords toward, up in the valances if you need to drop a cord down by the stage. So just getting us, and we use most of the heating equipment near that room, which is what pulls the most amps. But it'll give us dedicated outlets for plugging things in, the vacuum, whatever, as well as installing the heat pump units for the basement.
Okay.
He's gonna use one of the boxes that the car charger is hooked up to. That was incorrectly wired. It's not that there's not enough power. It should have a 50 amp breaker, but it's connected to 2 40 amp breakers. So it's not enough. It works to charge your car, but it's probably not working as fast as it should when people plug in.
Yeah.
They would know that, we wouldn't know that. It still does the job, but it takes longer
Yeah.
and it's not particularly safe. Anyway, he said ultimately there's enough power to run the car charger and everything else if you rewire things, but the committee still feels like the car charger needs to be moved because it's more of a nuisance about where it is. And how people block handicap parking access, plus the free charge on our bill. So
I think that's eventually we are.
So once he does the electric for the heat pump, the car charger will be officially off. And I have reached out to people that use it to ask them to go on their AI source. There's no place you can call and say, "Hi, can you tell people you have to have this software when you have an electric car," and there's a whole bunch of them that sort of say, "Hey, there's a charger in Montgomery." So people are getting the message out just randomly
Okay.
that it's going to be offline.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know that it's
Yeah.
official. Anyway, but and in addition, I'm getting an estimate from Rob Papalardo to actually install the heat units because Colin is no longer available to do that.
Oh, okay.
So that looks like it's gonna come in around 1,000, 1,200, and we feel like we've fundraised we will have the money to cover it.
Okay,
But Heartful Kitchen also just got another big donation, so if we're short, we'd be willing to put some of that toward it, so
okay,
it's neither here nor there.
okay,
And one other real quick thing is we've all concluded that the front railings are unsafe, falling out, and you guys need to replace them. And we are hoping that the select board can find some money to do that, because I don't feel like a safety issue like that should fall on a fundraising effort. I have 2 estimates to replace those railings. It is not something that needs to happen today or
Okay.
tomorrow, but I'll give you the estimates so that you
Yeah.
can see what you're looking at for budget time.
yeah,
Because
Okay.
I mean, the committee
yeah,
feels like the whole right side railing when you're walking up, actually on the left, that's almost out. Like if you lean into that too hard, somebody's gonna fall over. Plus it doesn't have a center rail, which is what the code requires.
yeah,
So, but you can talk at your next meeting about whether, I just don't,
yeah.
we as a committee didn't feel like that should fall on our shoulders to fundraise, because I feel like it's a safety issue.
Yeah, we can bring that up.
And
Yeah.
if we didn't have a committee, I think you'd have to pay for it,
Yeah,
But we're happy to fundraise for a lot of other things, but that, and the other mention was the elevator, but I still say the elevator's fine.
so here's the estimate for the, so it's 1470. For upgrading the electrical.
Oh, this is for the electric.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's for electrical upgrade, so I just need a motion to, continue that.
Did you see that, Leanne?
And I will bring in the
For 1470.
contract that goes along with that.
From Mike's Electric,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
alright,
yeah, okay, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we'll need that before we can, yeah. Okay, so I just need a motion.
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept the bid from Mike's Electric.
Mike's
It's actually
Electric.
from AMP,
Amp Electric.
Amp Electric,
which
okay,
is his
Um,
okay, Amp Electric,
To upgrade to install 6 20 amp outlets.
and the heat pump,
and the heat pump,
Oh, that's also for the heat pump.
yeah,
yeah.
Okay, have we established the heat pump? Because that's from Heartful Kitchen.
The heat pump, the donation was to the town, that $5,500 that paid for it. So that's already in the town hall funds.
this is just get the electrical upgraded to.
Yeah, so
hook up
to actually
install.
install the heat pump, we needed a licensed electrician.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
There was at one point you were saying like,
I think
if you
that,
didn't get the lease to be in the basement, that you were gonna take the heat pump and go somewhere else.
no,
So I
we're-
just.
that's off the table.
Okay,
We're-
alright, yes. then
We're
I'll
gonna
make
work
that
out the
motion.
lease at this point, I mean, it's just a matter of
yeah,
getting the
Alright.
details, but no, we're not planning on going anywhere. Everybody's all good. Everybody's,
did you say the amount?
1470.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not to exceed 1470.
Yes, not to exceed 1470.
So we just need a second.
I'll second it.
thank
Okay.
you guys.
So, any more discussion?
1470, and-
Now we'll vote, all in favor? Aye,
Aye.
any opposed? Any abstain? Okay.
I don't know if at this point,
Look at that pass.
is it worth getting on Zoom? Let's
Oh.
see.
You did get the password?
I got the password, which none of us would have been able, that word was not the written word.
Oh,
What was the word?
The word replace.
Oh,
Apparently this says replace.
Replace
Wait,
I
replace
could
with.
not read that.
But I can't, oh, here we go.
with 3 instead of 1?
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
So I'll see
Okay.
if I can get on.
Well, in the
Okay.
meantime, we can go to visitors.
I have his credentials to get in there though. On
Okay,
here.
hang on a
Here's
second.
the username and that's the password.
Before we go to visitors, because I can't
Oh, okay.
take notes and
Oh,
do
okay.
this. So give me 1 second.
Okay.
You can't multitask?
I can multitask, but I only have two hands.
See if we can get into the Zoom.
Yeah, we'll see.
You guys gotta fix your clock.
We gotta fix a lot
Oh,
of things,
yeah.
Teresa.
Mm-hmm. That clock too.
That's been running for quite a while.
Okay.
Actually, no, it just needs to
Yeah,
be
we're
sent
almost
back.
there.
Okay.
Right,
That's all it was instead of a
Okay.
minus or 3.
For God's sake.
Although at this point, probably anybody who was trying to get on is no longer. Wait, this is the password or the?
The username is the underneath one. Flip it.
Oh. And that top word is the password.
And the top one, yeah, is the password.
No. Let's try it one more time.
No. Down the line.
He said the C in covered might be a capital C.
Of
course.
He could look at my house. His brother was paying my house.
That makes sense.
Okay, well,
Okay.
we tried.
Okay. Now we can go to visitors.
All
Now
right.
I can go to visitors.
Okay.
Visitors.
Yes,
Okay.
I wanna know, has
Teresa.
anybody looked at Hazen's Notch Road?
I drive it every day.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, right in front of my neighbors, you go on either side, from the rainstorms we've had, I mean, I swear, I could put my foot down in that hole.
Yep, we're gonna start do side
Because
dress here.
my
this week.
concern is, once we get a frost, and that Hazen's Notch is known for a frost really bad, it's gonna crack all that gravel, everything.
On the blacktop, yeah.
The
Yeah, we're gonna
blacktop, it's gonna,
Side dress it next week.
Oh, okay, yeah.
cause it's the whole line up, even down where my house is, coming down the hill, it's really even deeper.
Yep, no, we're gonna do both sides and fix the driveway below you as well.
Yeah,
That's my, I
okay.
mean, it's, we got it paved, I didn't want it paved, but it's there and it's gonna get ruined if it don't get fixed.
Okay, yeah,
No, this week we're gonna do it.
yeah,
So, try to save money,
yeah,
but,
yeah. We're aware of it. We'll get it, yeah, we'll get it fixed.
and at town hall, I'll be there helping Penny tomorrow. I'm gonna
Just-
help Penny,
Follow
Tomorrow.
the rules and stay on the,
Okay.
stay out of bounds.
I know,
Okay. Anything
That's
else?
all right.
Anything else, Teresa?
That's where I drive.
Okay,
Okay.
I will lose a lot, but I can't say it tonight.
okay.
Charlie's not here.
I'll be a good girl
Roberta?
here tonight.
Nothing, I would just like to see the mulcher used to get all the trees and all our ditches.
Yeah, they're gonna be working on it. Yeah,
This year,
yeah,
before the snow.
they already used it one,
I know,
It's not gonna be any snow.
they already used it up on,
It's gonna be 60
58,
degrees.
you know, the new chipper, so yeah, they're gonna be working on it when they have
There's a
time.
lot of trees everywhere.
Yeah, that's why we got this piece of equipment.
Yeah.
To make things easier,
It's starting to
Yeah.
snow tonight.
so it's, yeah.
Quiet.
Anything else, Berta? Roberta?
No,
Okay,
just
Uh,
like to get rid of potholes, but that's not gonna,
Potholes.
well, yeah,
There's no
it
potholes.
will, yeah,
I just drive in the middle of the road.
and then, anything else, Tusk? You have anything more, Tuska, or?
No, we have a busy week and it's, the Grange Hall is, busting. Things are happening, lots of traffic, lots of classes,
Yeah,
art auction this weekend.
okay, yeah,
Oh, that's right.
Busy.
Yeah.
A lot going on, so
Yeah.
it's gonna
Okay.
be open all winter and the basement is getting, we're gonna paint the floor and we got a plumber coming in to do a couple estimates on what we need to get done for the kitchen to get inspected.
Okay, yeah.
Great.
And then we'll address renting that space and rules around all that.
So is there, okay, so I guess the next thing on the agenda is town hall committee status.
We have a meeting on Wednesday, and so
Okay.
we'll give you 2 names at your next meeting to
I did
Okay.
it.
to approve.
Oh.
You got it?
I got it. Hi, Larry. I can't believe you're still on there.
Can we hear?
I can't hear him, of course.
He's there.
You're gonna have to type everything you want to say, Larry.
I don't think you can type on.
Do we want to hook up to the
There
There
you
we
no,
go.
no, now I hear you.
What happened? Why was it so late getting on the Zoom coming up?
Well, so we didn't have the correct password to get into the computer, and then it took several attempts to get the correct password to get into the Zoom. Once we did.
Merle's been trying to get on too.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, well, if you want to I don't know if you can call him or message him and let him know that we're open now.
Okay,
It's almost over.
thank you.
Almost done.
We are almost done, but we're just getting.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we
Okay.
didn't cover much tonight because we're a pretty slim board.
Yeah,
But we are just going through visitors right now, and it
so,
would be your turn.
so did you have anything for visitors, Larry?
Who's that in the background? Is that Mark?
This
That's
Mark,
Would you like me to hook the laptop up to this? Or?
I took over. Yes, yes.
I want to go back to the what's wrong with the grader.
Do you want to?
I guess Scott can give you an update on that. We can go back. You want
Well,
to just,
Scott, you won't be able to hear Scott. I'll
Yeah.
read you from the notes if that's okay.
yeah.
I can hook him up to the camera and he'll be able to hear and see everything.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
25 seconds. Didn't think we'd get this far. Bear with me.
He's hooking Scott up to the camera so he can explain it. He can explain it better than I
This
can.
is the first time I've gotten in front of the camera doing this, but we need to. Oh, is it plugged in over here?
I can just tell him.
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Broke the
yeah,
rules for no
basic,
reason then. Never mind.
well, basically, Larry, we were using the grader and some lights came on, so we had Caterpillar come out to check it out to make sure we didn't damage anything. And they sent out an oil sample and came back with antifreeze in the oil, so the head gaskets,
Head broke, they
head-
think the head's cracked.
the head's cracked. So it needs a motor job. Yeah. So the grader's 20 years old. About almost 9,000 hours on it. So we're looking at, 50 to 100,000 just to get the motor job done, and then the transmission needs work too. So right now we're using Edisburg has 2 graders, so they're letting us borrow one of their graders so we can get roads graded this fall. And then we're getting some estimates on leasing another grader or purchasing another grader to see what we can do. So that's where.
Let me go back and repeat. You said $100,000 for the to rebuild the motor,
Yeah,
which is head gasket problem and cracked block, right?
crack block, yeah.
And
No.
no head
No.
gasket.
But they said the motor needs to be either rebuilt or replaced.
The head is cracked, so the motor either needs to be rebuilt or replaced. And then
Okay.
then there were some filings in the transmission, this spring. So they said that needs to be done too, so by the time you get everything done, then your grader's gonna be down for at least 6 months, 6 to 8
And
months.
we just barely got our trucks back, less than a month ago.
Yeah, the trucks are back.
So
Yeah.
let me just ask you this dumb question. And I don't mean to put anybody on alarm. Do we do any of our own preventive maintenance on that vehicle or have service agreements on those vehicles?
Yes, we do the preventive maintenance on the vehicles. We keep a log of each vehicle, write down the hours when we change the oil on a regular basis. So we have log books of when we change the oil and You know, all the maintenance we do on the vehicle, every vehicle has a.
Do you have
Yes.
any service agreements with anybody like Alliance or anything else like that? Come check your vehicles out once in a while?
No, we don't. No.
Okay,
No, we do
that's what
not.
I wanted to know.
Okay.
Sorry to bother you.
No.
I'm
No,
sorry
that's,
for the problem.
yeah,
Everything was beginning to go halfway decent for you.
yeah, and then, so that's where we're at right now. Yeah,
Mark, if you go to a new one, I would hope you would consider a 120. That's what we had for many years, and it's certainly big enough for Montgomery. When we bought that 140, it's really bigger than what we need.
well, I mean,
Run 5 days a week, you know, like construction on a state highway. And it's much cheaper, and they hold their trade-in value as good or better than the 140, or at least they did.
oh, I don't know. I mean, when we start looking, we'll be looking at different, you know, probably about the same size we had.
Well, you don't,
yeah.
do you need the 140, Mark?
Yeah, but I don't, we can look at the different price, you know, the different sizes and see what the price difference.
I don't know, there was,
But-
I forget what it was, $20,000 or $30,000 difference at the time when we bought this 140.
Oh, okay,
versus 20.
yeah,
Quite a bit of difference, yeah,
okay, yeah, well, no, we'll keep that in mind
yeah.
when we're looking, yeah. You have anything else for visitors, Merle?
Yeah, the municipal directory, the listers hasn't been updated yet. Still have a vacancy, don't have Kenny Miller's name in there on the directory,
Okay, we'll let Liz know,
yeah.
yeah.
And is there anything on the Montgomery website about the solid waste at the PSP? I'm trying to find out about electronic equipment like printers and computers.
Probably if you go on their website, the solid waste website, they probably
To
could,
bring it here, to get rid of it, Merle?
to get rid of it,
Yeah, you can do it.
I don't know if I know.
you could, they have electrical.
Yeah.
Disposal.
And it's
disposal.
free.
And it's free.
I think pickup, I just trying to find information on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
they,
tried to email Barry Cade and his email don't work anymore.
They take it.
No,
Yeah.
I brought
Yeah.
computers and printers
yeah,
and all
the
kinds of stuff.
computers and printers and stuff like that is
TVs.
all, they take it here for free.
Oh, no, it costs money.
Or it costs,
They told me the
It never
charge
cost me a
or
cent.
Anything about it?
For computers and stuff?
I didn't think there was for computers and electrical.
Maybe it changes, we got
Yeah.
charged the last
So
time.
who do you contact? Is it?
I
maybe it did.
would contact
It's
Northwest,
just the regular.
Solid
dump
waste.
takes it.
Oh, Northwest.
Yeah, these
Yeah.
guys take it.
I would just contact them and they can give you a price, a list of
Yeah,
what.
okay.
He can bring
I
it
like
here
the
this
small
Saturday
meetings, yeah.
and get rid of
Every
it.
Saturday.
Oh, you have?
Does he not
Okay, Larry.
understand that?
Larry's,
No charge, Larry?
No charge when
Yeah.
I left them.
Yeah, here.
However, there's been kind of a shake up since Barry Cage left. Barry
Domino.
Dominon's left too.
Mm,
So,
okay,
Okay, thank you.
okay, thanks, Merle. Anything else for visitors?
Well, it'd be Bob.
Oh,
Bob just came in.
Hi,
Bob, yeah.
sorry, like, following up with a proposal to develop a trail along the Trout River. You mentioned the consideration of liability. That problem I think I solved. I
Can't hear him. Can you hear him, Larry?
We don't have this because we were so late getting this computer hooked up, we weren't able to tie in the speakers. Bob is talking about the liability that we were worried about with the purchase of land
Right.
for
Would you
a
like
trail.
Would you like me to come closer?
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
wanna come
Yeah.
right up here,
Yeah.
that'd be fine.
Liability. So I called the Evergreen Foundation's insurance agent, and the insurance agent said that they could simply add the site that we're talking about to the existing policy that's on the Birchwood. And the premium would be around $800 a year, and the foundation would be happy to pay for it. So I believe that solves the liability problem.
So that would be the liability for the town-owned land?
I asked them to quote on the entire site, so that would be
So that'd be-
the Arts Center, Barry Dominor's land, and the town land. And I said I thought it was about 15 acres, so that's what they quoted. That's what they quoted on, and that actually makes sense because Barry, incidentally, when he had the land open, that he said he too had liability insurance, and that was his premium X number of years ago.
Oh, okay.
So I think that addresses the liability issue. Unfortunately, Barry decided he did not want to consider selling the land, and so at the moment, and probably in the indefinite near future, he's out of the picture. So what I'm falling back. What I'm going to do is to propose to the Arts Center people that we groom only their land around the Arts Center, and possibly do a separate proposal for the town land at some other point. The problem there, among other things, is access.
Yeah,
How you
Wow.
get and
access and parking and, yeah.
access and parking. I'm exploring some possibilities, and I might get lucky, or I might not. But right now, I'm concentrating on the Arts Center land, and that takes care of that proposal. I have a related, unless there's any questions about that, I'd like to get to the next issue. The Evergreen Foundation was wondering if the town had any objection if it groomed the land on the lower Hazen's Notch Road along the river, which is around 800 square feet. It would start at the intersection and go up about 800 feet. The idea is simply to open up the river for view, for for anyone driving by, walking by, riding by. As I said, it would simply open up the river to view.
So you'd be cutting trees and,
Cutting
yeah,
trees.
so you'd have to get
Right.
permission from
Okay.
A&R, I would say, because, cutting trees along the riverbank.
Right.
Yeah.
The issue,
Yeah.
the issue there is,
Yeah,
I think, is erosion primarily.
yeah,
And that's doable. It's, for example, just by way of illustration, in New Hampshire, where I used to practice, there was something called the Shoreland Protection Act, and the idea was to keep fertilizer and stuff from entering a water body.
yeah, phosphorus, yeah.
Right, and and when I first heard about that, I was taken aback because I was doing a project, and what you do, of course, is open up the pond to view.
Yeah,
And I said, what can I do? My hands are tied. Well, actually, the rules are that you leave trees, mainly trees, based on volume, mass. And what you do, you leave the big trees, which is most of the mass, and limb them up to in the middle layer so that you can see between the trees. And you might mow the lower layer a bit, and you cut the middle layer, which is mainly, little saplings, little trees, and brush. And the result is that you can see the view, but you have enough of a plant buffer to protect the pond. That's what would happen here. The big trees you mainly limb up, or leave alone. You'd mow the grass and the herbaceous stuff at the ground layer, and groom mainly in the middle layer. So I don't think I'd cause any erosion.
Well,
And-
you'd still have to probably talk to A&R, the
And,
stream bank, yeah.
Okay, that's a state agency.
Yeah, it's a state
What does it mean, by the way? What's A&R?
Um,
Aha,
yeah.
In your ear.
huh?
Your pen's in your ear.
Oh, thank you. Okay, that was easy.
Ag-
Agency of
Natu-
Natural
Agency
Resources.
Agency of Natural
Agency.
Resources.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so I've gotta talk to the state.
Yes,
Talking
and
just to the town of Montgomery,
no,
No,
you'd
okay.
have to talk to them to work on stream banks.
Okay.
We have to anytime we wanna do anything in
Okay.
the rivers.
okay, I'd be glad.
They'll have somebody come out and meet with you,
Okay,
meet with you to see what you wanna do with,
Agency of Natural.
yeah,
Okay,
resources.
Have you got any specific, concern about that while I'm here?
Well, I just wanna
Yeah.
make sure you're doing it to their standards so that we don't
Okay.
get in trouble,
Okay,
Um,
good idea.
yeah.
Great.
because that's what their concern is, the erosion
Okay,
and the vegetation along the bank.
Yeah.
Because I know it's a big thing not to
And,
right,
do it the right way. cut
okay.
the
Banks are all
vegetation.
rocks.
Yeah, pretty much,
well, that.
pretty much, I mean,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of ledge that was put in
Yeah.
there after the
helps.
flood.
Yeah.
But the height of that river fluctuates a lot,
Yeah,
Okay.
throughout the year, depending on what kind of rain, and of course in the springtime when it's melting, but, we had 3 or 4 different meltdowns last winter.
yeah,
And I mean, it gets almost to the tippity top of that wall, and then it, in
Okay.
2 days it's back down to,
Okay.
normal. So, yeah, there's a lot of fluctuation with it.
Right. Okay, so the growth is
Bob?
mainly on top of the ledge.
Bob, did you mention there was 800 feet involved?
Roughly,
And approximately where is that 800 feet?
it would begin at the house, I don't know who owns it, but.
House on the
second-
left-hand
house on the
side.
left- House on the left-hand
Yes.
side, not the first one, but the second one.
Owned by the same people.
Owned by the same people.
yeah,
The
Okay.
2 houses are owned by the same
Okay.
guy.
yes, yeah,
And I don't know actually how much, time I would have, but I would start there and go up the road. See how far I could do this year.
Hmm.
Is
but
that,
I would
I'm
say,
bringing almost up to your house, Teresa.
No,
what's
no,
that?
not
my
that,
house is
800
far
feet?
from the water.
Right, no,
Well, actually, my land is over on Demar Road still, so yeah, close
right,
to my house.
yeah. I'm not sure, how do I answer that? I would emphasize the part that's where the buffer is narrow,
yeah,
between the road and the river.
Mhm.
So I think it's around 800 feet, 700 or 800 feet.
Kind of the stretch across from where the houses on the right side are.
Yeah,
right across from the
Yeah.
houses on the right-hand side.
right across, right.
Scott, did you have a question
Right.
about it?
Yeah, just going back to the Longley Bridge project, they're asking us to plant, not touch anything within 25 feet of the riverbank. That's why we had to plant all those plantings for 25 feet.
Yeah, we did a stream bank,
Yeah,
last year.
Stabilization, yeah.
Stabilization,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
we had to plant willows and trees within,
Okay,
for 25.
for 25 feet from the edge of the river in, and then those have to be,
Yeah, we can't
Okay.
touch them, we can't ever touch them, and they
so
asked
that's
us
why,
to stay
that's why
25
I'm
feet
saying that
from the
if you
river.
wanna do anything on the riverbank, you need to get
okay,
Agency of Natural Resources, and this
And that's
This
kind
Chris Brunel, he's usually he's the person that you talk to usually for any time you wanna work in the river or do anything in the river.
If he's
What's his
trying to-
name?
Chris Brunel. If you go on their website, you probably,
CHR.
Yeah.
The state
Brunel.
right away from the center of the river
BIUNELLE?
yeah,
to whatever
Okay.
the right of way is.
so he would probably be the one
Flood zone.
they'll
Okay,
turn you to.
okay,
That's who we deal with whenever we wanna work in the river or do anything in the
Okay.
rivers. So, I mean, that's probably your first step is to talk to them and he'd probably come out and meet with you to see what you wanna do and
okay,
if you can do anything, so we'll see. We'll see. But
okay,
I know it's a pretty touchy thing to work on the riverbanks and
okay.
to do anything on the riverbanks because they wanna keep the vegetation there so it holds, holds Holds the bank.
Holds
Plus
the
you
bank.
got,
Yeah.
don't we have the flood mitigation thing going on simultaneously, like meetings
That's
on
We have-
mostly for the village.
It's
We have a
Wednesday
meeting-
night.
We had a meeting we have a meeting Wednesday night for this flood
And mostly
resilient.
for the village, so nothing, 'cause I mean,
No, it's for the center too.
Is it?
Yeah,
'cause I
there's-
mean, that,
yeah,
I
River, right?
feel like
yeah.
the discussion you wanna have is with those guys too.
So Wednesday night, we have a meeting, 5:30 for flood resilience, and it's just looking at different locations in town to see what we can do to help mitigate flooding
I
in the
know.
future.
Seems to tie in the kind of like,
I mean, that area got damaged quite a bit the last flood, so.
yeah,
What's that
Yeah.
considered? Is that trout?
Yeah.
That's where that goes up to Hazel's Knot?
It's
Yeah.
upper
Yeah,
trout,
that is
yeah.
Upper Trout,
Okay.
yeah, Upper Trout River.
Goes all the way to Amadon, right?
Yeah,
Oh, does it?
I
yeah.
wouldn't go that high. How about-
No,
Um, Yeah,
okay, so I'm just, yeah, so that's probably your first step.
okay, we're happy to call,
Yeah,
happy to call them up.
yeah.
You also mentioned about, about the river committee that they had grants for land.
Yeah,
They don't have land acquisition grant, all the grants seem like, a culvert here, a trail here, 3, 4, 3 or
yeah, they're
4,000
smaller grants for
Right.
sure. But for like trail development, when you were looking at that as a possibility, it could be a good
Okay,
resource.
okay. Thank you,
Yeah, thank
Good
you.
luck.
thank you,
Yes,
thank you.
okay.
Anybody else on Zoom?
No, that's it.
Alright,
Okay, I think we've gone through visitors.
yep.
Um,
they didn't,
Next would be building use policy updates. Is there any updates on the building use policy, Tosca? Or-
everybody can use it,
Okay,
whenever they want.
okay, okay, the fee schedule. Did
For
we-
free.
Yeah,
That's all for free, for everybody, don't quote me on that, but that's what,
no, I think we have to look at that
That's after we get the bid.
after we look
I
at
think the
the,
current policy for the upstairs is fine, everybody seems good with it. We're talking about raising the rates for private parties, like weddings, but, the fundraising continues, so. we'll
okay,
see. We'll see how we end up with the budget, I mean, this is the first year, so
yeah,
we're either gonna come in under or we're gonna come in over.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like anything, I mean,
yeah,
if something breaks that we can't fix, we're gonna come and say.
yeah,
But so far the elevator works great, it just needed to be used.
Mhm.
Like anything, the more you use the space, the better everything gets taken care of.
Yeah.
So it's just, and,
Yeah.
yeah, so,
and there's-
Possible. I also got a hold of the fuel company, let them know you're gonna be open all winter.
oh, thank you
Cause
very
usually.
much.
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
come
they
back-
don't deliver.
Yeah, I called them, let them know you're gonna be open all winter.
So far, we
just-
haven't turned the heat on at all, it's, I mean,
It
it's
should be on automatic.
really
just-
been nice.
just keep an eye on it through the
Yeah,
winter,
we're
make sure
gonna-
they keep the tank full,
Yeah, well, I mean, this will be the first year that we
Since
test
you're-
how much, but,
yeah.
yeah.
Did you ever get a wireless thermostat installed in that place?
Oh, actually, that is,
What,
we're gonna buy one, and I think, the wireless thermostat.
oh, okay,
The heat pumps have one, the basement heat will be on that. They come equipped with a wireless situation, which we'll figure out, but the upstairs, Tara is just gonna get one from Ace.
yeah,
They're
That's
not,
all you
and
need
then
to
I'm
do. Yeah.
gonna sort of just slide it over to Mike when he's there
Oh.
doing the other stuff.
I will say that those are 100% rebate from Efficiency Vermont, so when she gets it,
For municipal buildings,
I think for anybody.
cause so far, Efficiency Vermont won't do anything for us for.
Really?
because it's
Oh, you
municipal
looked into
building.
it?
Oh,
Oh,
So we are looking at 2 grants that could retroactively, like we put the railing into it. Yeah, we just felt it's more, so there is a possibility that these bigger projects can be funded, but, Efficiency Vermont, nothing. Vermont
Okay.
Electric Company, I have a little grant that I'm asking for Populardo to install the heat pumps. I'm trying to get that covered, and that's also a retroactive, so if they approve it, we could get some money for that too.
okay,
But I don't wanna promise ahead of time, I'm just
Yeah.
looking at, like, this is what it costs. If we don't get grant money, if we get grant money, hooray.
I have an email or a number you can call, there might be some money. Liz just sent it to me for ADA or accessibility.
That might be
So
good
that
for
might be
the
for the railing.
railings.
yeah, for the railings,
I
yeah.
can give you, I'll get the number for you.
I mean,
Hmm.
yeah.
Scott, can you send me that information too?
Yep.
Is it
Yeah.
municipal only, or is it?
No, it's ADA, it's for everything across the board for
I'd be interested.
accessibility for the state.
So the,
Thanks.
okay, so the next thing on the agenda is the food shelf draft lease agreement. I think the board has looked it over and we don't have the full board here tonight, so.
We still need
I
to
think-
talk about it at our next meeting.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think we'll move this to the next meeting, we'll discuss this more. Then we have collector of liquid taxes, office compatibility.
Okay, so Charlie
So-
sent out a little bit of a memo, email. So Kat has resigned from the school board and from the budget committee.
She resigned from the school board and the
Really?
budget committee,
Wow.
Kat
okay.
did.
So that
Catherine, yes, yeah,
would take care of the conflict of interest.
it would.
Um,
Well, yeah.
Would you repeat that, please?
Catherine Barnard resigned from the school board and from the budget committee.
Thank you.
mhm. So
She's going for delinquent tax.
she's been appointed local tax, but we had conflicts.
For
Yeah.
sure.
And,
Yeah.
um,
A few.
okay. Okay, so that answers that.
That took her a lot of guts to do that. Good for
Yeah,
her.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Maybe she needed an excuse.
yeah, yeah.
I'll just say that she feels great.
I bet.
So that,
Is that a person on the budget committee, I don't think can serve as collector of delinquent taxes?
well, she resigned off the budget committee.
Oh, we know.
And
okay.
she resigned off the school board too. So
Oh,
now
okay.
she's just delinquent tax, yeah,
Yeah.
so she got rid of both of those
Okay,
positions.
It's Title 17, Section
Yeah.
2456, I believe,
Yeah,
is compatible officers, and that
Right.
speaks on that issue.
I think Larry sent that to us, yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
so, yeah. So it sounds like that's all set now. She's-
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So that's pretty much our agenda. I'm just liquor and tobacco license.
Who's the other person at the meeting?
Suzanne
Leanne
and
there?
Leanne,
Leanne's here.
yes.
Oh, yeah, I see her hand.
Oh, yes, I guess we do have new business liquor and tobacco license.
Yes.
We have Heimbecker LLC doing business as Sylvester's Market, a second-class license in tobacco endorsements. So we just need a motion to
I'll make a
approve that.
motion to approve
Heimbecker,
Heimbecker LLC, DBA Sylvester's Market, second class license tobacco endorsements.
I'll second.
any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, nay? Okay,
Don't mind me.
approved. Then there's no plea permits, so pretty much now it's just opening mail and signing orders, so if I have a motion to adjourn,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any opposed? No.